Good evening, and I'd like to call this order of the Frankfort Village Board to order. Tonight is Monday, April 17th, 2023, and we will ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle.
Here.
Trustee Ledden.
Here.
Trustee Severia.
Here.
Trustee Farina.
Here.
Trustee Petro.
Here.
Trustee Borelli.
Here.
Trustee Rossi.
Here.
Attorney Lamore.
Present.
Village Administrator Pisha.
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barica. Chief Chalepis.
Here.
And Clerk Schubert is here.
Thank you, Clerk. If everyone would please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on here is what we call the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine in nature and will be enacted in one single motion. There's no separate discussion on these items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if anyone would like to remove any items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve? So moved. Motion by Trustee Farina, that's Trustee Savaria, second. First item in the consent agenda is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting on April 3rd, 2023. Since there are no corrections to that, we will go to Trustee Savaria for the approval of the bills.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The bills tonight equal $435,187, with the general corporate fund at $146,638. The Capital Development Fund at $173,323, with the majority of that coming from PT Farrow Road Maintenance. Sewer and Water Operation and Maintenance at $98,998. Sewer Water Extension Fund at $16,227. And then I'd just like to have a honorable mention to Adam Tokarski for snow plowing at $187.50. That's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. The next item on here is part of the Committee of the Whole report, and we will go back to Trustee Savaria for our budget.
All right, thank you. The first item is the fiscal budget 2023-2024 approval. The Village of Frankfort proposed a 2023-2024 budget was presented to the Committee of the Whole on April 12, 2023 for review and consideration. The fiscal year 2024 budget, including all funds, is comprised of the proposed grand total of $41,645,900 in revenues and $56,733,600 in expenditures. The proposed budget includes $25,993,000 of operating costs for general administration, police protection, public works, building and code enforcement, development services, garbage disposal, and water and sewer operations. These expenditures are paid for with revenues such as sales tax, property tax, income tax, garbage fees, and water and sewer charges. Capital expenditures in the amount of $29,273,600 are included in this year's budget and are mainly funded by the operating surpluses, which are transferred to the capital funds annually. Street resurfacing efforts continue and are budgeted at $7 million. Construction of Pfeiffer Road Extension Project is budgeted at $4,550,000, and $4 million is included for a new well and iron removal facility. Also, $3.4 million is budgeted for the IEPA debt service payment for the completed wastewater treatment plant consolidated project. Additional capital items include the incoming budget are water and sewer infrastructure improvements, vehicles and equipment, community enhancement, and funding for economic incentives. Frankfort's fiscal year 2024 budget continues to apply conservative financial management. Staff has held down budgeted costs and has used reasonable figures for revenues. This effort results in an operating budget wherein revenues exceed expenditures. On April 12th, it was the consensus of the committee to recommend Village Board approval of the 2023-2024 fiscal budget. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and approve the Village of Frankfort municipal budget for the fiscal year of 2023-2024. That was a mouthful.
Yes, it was. Nice job, trustee Savaria. The next item on here is, we'll go to trustee Letton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this item is the Oregon Street and Sycamore Lane water main improvements bid approval resolution. At its March 8th meeting, the Committee of the Whole reviewed 3 bids received for water main improvements on Oregon Street between Locust and Maple, and on Sycamore Lane between Nebraska and Sauk Trail, as part of the village's 2023-2024 water main replacement program. The low bidder was H. Linden and Sons Sewer and Water Incorporated in the amount of $920,161. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to accept the low bid and award the contract to H. Linden and Sons. The motion before us this evening is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with H. Linden and Sons Sewer and Water for Oregon Street and Sycamore Lane water main improvements in the amount of $920,161. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Letton. Now we'll go to trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. Next item is the T-Mobile site lease agreement, 20254 South Graceland Lane. At the April 12th Committee of the Whole meeting, staff presented a lease agreement between the Village of Frankfort and T-Mobile Central LLC for the existing water tower located at 20254 South Graceland Lane. The lease agreement stipulates the requirements, terms, and provisions for a telecommunications service system facility on the site. The term of this agreement is 5 years, which will be automatically renewed for 4 additional terms. It was a consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to approve the lease agreement with T-Mobile. The motion before us tonight is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement between the Village of Frankfort and T-Mobile Central LLC for use of the site located at 20254 South Graceland Lane for a telecommunications facility.
Thank you, trustee Burley. Now we will go to trustee Farina for an intergovernmental agreement.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. The following is an intergovernmental agreement with the Will County Gang Suppression Unit. Discussion took place at the April 12th Committee of the Whole meeting regarding the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between Will County, the Will County Sheriff's Office, and the Village of Frankfort. The Frankfort Police Department has participated in the Will County Sheriff's Gang Suppression Unit for many years. This unit provides additional training and experience for officers, assistance for the department when serving high-risk warrants, and additional resources and support for large community events. In the past, officers have participated in a part-time assignment with the Gang Suppression Unit through a verbal agreement with the Will County Sheriff. This year, the Will County Sheriff's Office identified part-time and full-time task force assignments, which would require an intergovernmental agreement for participation. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to authorize execution of the agreement. The motion before us this evening is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will, the Will County Sheriff's Office, and the Village of Frankfort related to the Will County Gang Suppression Unit. And that is all, Mayor Ogle.
Thank you, trustee Farina. We'll now go to a plan commission item and go to our trustee Rossi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, the first re-subdivision in Lighthouse Point Phase 3, minor PUD change ordinance. Applicant O'Malley, Lighthouse Point LLC, seeks to adjust the lot line between lots 26-1 and 26-2 of the first re-subdivision of Lighthouse Point Phase 3. The lots have already been developed and a duplex building exists that straddles the lots. The lot line between the two lots will be shifted exactly 2.5 feet north to enclose the entirety of the existing dwelling unit on lot 26-2. The lot line adjustment requires a minor change to the PUD and a plat of re-subdivision. Per the zoning ordinance, the minor change to the PUD has been approved by the code official and conveyed to the Plan Commission in writing. At its April 13th meeting, the Plan Commission forwarded a unanimous 4-0 recommendation to the Village Board to approve the plat of re-subdivision. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the O'Malley re-subdivision of lots 26-1 and 26-2 in the first re-subdivision of Lighthouse Point Phase 3, a planned unit development prepared by Gingrich, Giroux, and Associates, dated 3/20/23, in accordance with the reviewed plans and subject to any technical revisions prior to recording and condition on final engineering approval. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. Now we have one final item on the consent agenda. We'll go to Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight is the approval and release of certain closed meeting minutes and destruction of verbatim records resolution. The Village Board has conducted its semi-annual review of all written minutes of the closed session meetings pursuant to the Illinois Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120 and finds that the minutes listed in the Exhibit A or portions thereof no longer require confidential treatment and should be made available for public inspection. The Village Board has further determined that a need for confidentiality still exists with respect to the written minutes of closed meeting specifically listed in Exhibit B. In addition, the audio taped verbatim records of closed session meetings listed in Exhibit C are eligible for destruction. The motion before us is to adopt a resolution approving and releasing certain closed session meeting minutes and authorizing the destruction of verbatim records of certain closed session meetings of the Village of Frankfort. That is all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Petro. So we have a motion and a second for the consent agenda, and we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Thank you, clerk. Now we come to a portion of the meeting called the Mayor's Report. We have quite a few things tonight as Frankfort is ramping up, heading towards spring and summer. So the first thing was today, starting early this morning, the 8th grade students from Hickory Creek Middle School participated in their annual Student Government Day. The day began here at the Village Administration Building with a tour of the offices. The students then visited the fire department, the police station, and a wastewater treatment plant. Then we had a nice lunch together. The trustees met with their student counterparts and had great conversation and great lunch at Aurelio's. And then afterwards we went on to the Public Works building. Prior to our meeting that started tonight, the students held a mock board meeting. We were all very impressed by the questions that they had, and there was excellent participation by the students. We want to thank 157C Superintendent Doug Wernett, Principal Tricia Dotson, and also the teacher sponsor, Mrs. Tara O'Hay, for their cooperation and assistance in preparing the students for this day. As a sign of support for our residents serving in the military and their families, the Village Board deems it appropriate and fitting to extend the temporary waiver of sewer and water fees for qualified residents or utility customers of the Village of Frankfort who are on deployment for a minimum of 6 months duration. Once approved, the waiver of fees shall remain in effect for a period of 6 months, after which time, if the qualifying resident remains on active duty, the waiver may be renewed upon completion and submittal of another application and updated military documentation. So I'm looking for a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the waiver of water and sewer fees for a period of 6 months for Village of Frankfort military personnel serving on active duty in the Armed Forces of the United States.
So moved.
We have a motion by Trustee Savaria and a second by Trustee Rossi. All those in favor, say aye. The next item on here is it's Donate Life Month, and Donate Life Month aims to spread awareness about organ, eye, and tissue donations and honor those who have saved lives through this gift of donation. The Village of Frankfort recognizes the importance of organ and tissue donation education and encourages all citizens to make organ and tissue education a priority during this month and throughout the year. We have members of the Mad Dog Strong Foundation. Cheryl Weiss is here and we received the proclamation. Maddie was a 18-year-old Lincoln Way East graduate, and through through a tragedy, the good things were able to come out of that tragedy, and the family, is honoring both her life, her memory, and her legacy. And her gift saved 3 people, giving sight to 2 people, including a 2-year-old child. And her donations of tissue have changed numerous lives already, too. So I'm looking for a motion to approve a proclamation declaring April 2023 as National Donate Life Month in the Village of Frankfort.
So moved.
We have a motion by trustee Farina, second by trustee Savaria. All those, sorry? Oh, trustee Ledden, sorry. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. It passes. We have a vacancy on the Plan Commission that has occurred with the election of Maura Rigoni to the office of trustee. Maura is in the front row. Congratulations. The Village of Frankfort is accepting applications for appointment to the Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals to fill the remainder of her term, which expires on April 30th of 2024. Residents of the Village of Frankfort who wish to submit applications for consideration of the Plan Commission appointment are encouraged to do so. The applications are available at the Village Administration Building here, which is 432 West Nebraska, or at the Village website, which is frankfortil.org. The deadline for application submittals is Friday, April 21st. The appointments are made by the mayor with the advice and consent of the trustees. The Village of Frankfort will mark Saturday, April 22nd, as its annual Earth Day, Arbor Day celebration. All residents and civic groups are invited to join us for a morning of cleaning up the village. Interested volunteers should plan to arrive at the Village Hall on Saturday at between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. You can pick up a free t-shirt, gloves, and also garbage bags. The event will conclude with a luncheon for all the volunteers at 11:30 at the Public Utilities Public Works facility, which is at 524 Center Road. For more information, you can contact our event coordinator, Sue Lynchy, at 469-2177, or again, visit our website, which is frankfortil.org. And students are eligible to receive community service hours by participating in this event. I would also ask that we approve a proclamation designating Saturday, April 22nd, 2023 is Earth Day, Arbor Day in the Village of Frankfort. Can I get that motion? We have a motion by trustee Petro, second by trustee Borelli. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Again, this was going to be a long report tonight. We have a lot of things going on. The Village of Frankfort was named the 2022 Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation to honor our commitment to effective forest management. The village also received a Tree City USA Growth Award for demonstrating environmental improvement and an outstanding level of tree care. This has been many years that we've received this award. Our Frankfort Country Market is scheduled to open on Saturday, April 23rd, or sorry, on Sunday, April 23rd, this Sunday, from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock in downtown Frankfort. You can enjoy a variety of fresh produce, prepared foods, plants, and specialty products that are locally grown, as well as special events and demos throughout the season. And this evening, it is my genuine pleasure and the pleasure of the village board to recognize trustee Margaret Farina for her public service to the residents of the Village of Frankfort. In recognition of her commitment to our community, this board presents her with an engraved plaque recognizing and expressing our appreciation for her dedicated service. On behalf of the people of Frankfort, Margaret, thank you. That concludes the mayor's report tonight, and a little jump off a little differently from the board comments. We are going to start with trustee Farina.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for the lovely recognition and plaque this evening. I will always cherish my experience to serve on the Frankfort Village Board. Thank you to our residents who voted for me. I am honored to have gained your trust and belief in my abilities to fulfill the office of Village Trustee. Thank you to my family. Keith Turka, my husband, who has supported my efforts since day one on the campaign trail, encouraged me and listened to me while I worked hard to uphold my responsibilities as a public servant. I also appreciate your time and dedication to attend village events and programs together throughout my tenure. To my children, Luke and Zachary, who have supported Mom and my call to serve others, I am proud of you, your conduct, and participation at village events and programs. I am also thankful that you have had a unique opportunity to observe our government up close and its impact to citizens' everyday lives. I also take great pride in the many accomplishments achieved while serving on the board: hiring additional police officers, increased funding for roads and critical infrastructure, the passage of an award-winning comprehensive plan including historic district guidelines, earning a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting for 33 executive years, pandemic relief and protection efforts, and upholding our Tree City USA designation. These accomplishments were made possible by working together. Hard work and dedication with the mayor, the village board, and especially our staff, who work tirelessly to create a welcoming and thriving community. And I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is all.
Thank you, trustee. Now we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for board comments.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. First, I will report on the election because that's all I talk about, it seems like. So the consolidated election, so the 2 weeks prior, we had 631 residents use early voting here at Village Hall. And results of the election will become official on Tuesday, April 25th. Secondly, I just wanted to say, I first met Margaret, I think it was 7 years ago when I was pretty new to Frankfort. I was on the Kids Work Children's Museum board, and we were working on the fundraiser there together with Bridget Borelli as well. And after that, we've been friends ever since, and I've always been impressed with Margaret's dedication and hard work. So I just wanted to say that you'll be missed at village board meetings, but I know you'll still be serving Frankfort, and thank you for all you've done as a trustee. That's all.
Thank you, Katie. Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things. First of all, congratulations to those who succeeded in this year's election. I know it was a lot of time, effort, taken away from your families, expense, and we really appreciate your effort and your dedication to the village. This evening was great to attend the Student Government Day. I thought they all did a fabulous job. Sorry Carson wasn't able to attend. The Mayor Pro Tem had to come in under short notice and did very well. Margaret, thank you for your service, your dedication to the village. Luke, Zachary, I understand that she's not running again, so she can keep a closer eye on you, so good luck. And to the Mad Dog Strong Foundation, you know, it's a tragedy to lose your daughter, but to turn into something good is commendable. And we're proud as a village to support that and raise that awareness as best we can. And finally, when I was first voted in 2 years ago, the week after that I became a grandpa, so I wanted to wish my granddaughter a happy second birthday to Alexis. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Savaria.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to congratulate all the participants of Student Government Day for a job well done. I encourage anyone interested to apply to the Plan Commission. It's a great way to get involved, learn more about our government and what's going on in the village. Thank you, Maura, for your service. I believe I've served with several people on the board that were on the Plan Commission, so it's a great stepping stone. Margaret, thank you for all your service, both on the Plan Commission and on the board. And then I'd like to wish my son a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Gino. That's it.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. Trustee Farina, anything more?
That is all.
Okay. Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. I too just wanted to congratulate all the participants of Student Government Day. It's always fun to hang out with kids and youth for a full day and hear all of their insightful and bold and engaging questions, so it keeps us on our toes. I too just want to congratulate Maura for moving from Plan Commission to the board here in the near future, and you have served this community very well. Plan Commission Chair, those are big responsibilities and now big shoes to fill. So if anyone is interested in getting involved, I would certainly, have you reach out to several of us that have served on the Plan Commission. It really is a great board to get involved with, and you certainly learn quite a bit about your village and ordinances and staff and the inner workings of the community. To Margaret, I think we sat on the bookends at the Plan Commission, and I would often find myself, always looking down, and we always shared great dialogue and discussions and healthy debate to get to better projects. And I think that had continued over into the board, and it's crazy to think that it's been 7 years. Sometimes it feels like yesterday, but time does that to us, right? The days are long, or the years are short as we look back. So thank you for your service to this community. Public service it's work, but it's also very rewarding. And I think that what your comment said tonight is very true. It's rewarding for those that we serve. It's rewarding for those that are around us, that support us, very close to us, especially our children. Our children are always watching, and we're raising the next wave of leaders. So congratulations to you and all of your accomplishments while you were serving.
Okay. Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle, and I'd like to also congratulate all the 8th graders who participated in today's Student Government Day. It is probably my favorite thing that we do with the village, working together with the school. I think it's a great experience and perfect way to start building that bench of the next wave of leaders. So thank you all for putting that together. To the gentlelady from Misty Falls, I wish you well. I thank you for your service. You've always been very thoughtful, no question about that. No one can ever debate that. And you're definitely passionate and you care about this village, and I know you'll continue to serve it in some other respect knowing you. So thank you.
Trustee Rossi.
Okay, first want to start and say congratulations, Trustee-elect Rigoni. We welcome to see you up here in a couple weeks. Margaret, Trustee Farina. I met her back when I was still serving on the fire board as a trustee there. As soon as she got elected, that was one of the first places she came over to visit us and try to work together, which I thought was excellent. When I decided to run, she was there. She was a mentor. She's been a mentor for me for the last 2 years. I couldn't have asked for anybody better. I couldn't have asked for more information. She's still helping me this week and for last week. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to miss you on the board, and I'm sure the citizens of Frankfort will miss you also.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. Now we'll go to our village administrator, Rob Pisha.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to congratulate the kids for Student Government Day. It was enjoyable hanging out with them, and again, as we always say, they always raise the bar as far as the questions that they ask and the comments that they have, and it's enjoyable to spend time with the kids in our community. So congratulations to them, and they ran a very efficient meeting this evening, so they did a great job. I also want to thank Margaret for her service to the community. Serving on the Plan Commission first and then coming over to the board. I appreciate all the work that you've put in, and I know that the work that you did is a dedication to the community that you love. So thank you very much. And boys, I just want to make sure that you understand now you have your mom's undivided attention. So good luck with that. And then finally, just want to remind everybody that as we get into this time of the year, I'd ask if you have a catch basin that's in your backyard or in front of your house, that if you could help clear those just to make sure that there's no debris that's covering them to help prevent any flooding either around your house or in front of your house. So that would be very helpful. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Rob. And now we go to our police chief.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the Frankfort Police Department, I'd like to thank Trustee Farina for all of her support and for her service to the community. I hope we still see you at our Coffee with the Cops and our other community events. Also, I would just like to remind everyone to make sure you lock your vehicle doors, close your garage doors, and never leave key or key fobs inside of your vehicle. Make the 9 p.m. routine part of your daily routine. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Now to our attorney, Hannah Lamore, for the attorney's report.
No report tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Hannah. All right, we had an item that was on from other business from our committee of the whole. Trustee Borelli, you had asked that we put this on here specifically. And this is, there are items that were presented under the 60423 day. Basically, these are things that, whether it's a drone show, that would be a budgetary thing that we would need board direction to go with something that amount or not do that. And there were other options that were part of that. And that the May 10th committee of the whole would be too far out for us to discuss this. So, Trustee Borelli, can I turn this to you?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
the reason, like you said, Mayor, is that if we waited till May 10th, I just felt like that wasn't going to be enough time for staff, so I was really just sort of looking for, I know staff is still looking for some direction on some of the items we talked about on Wednesday. I think specifically the drones show and then sort of the ideas with the food. So I don't, if we want to take them one at a time. I don't necessarily, I have ideas, but I want to hear from the board, and I just want to make sure that we give Sue as much time as possible to execute.
Okay, I think perhaps everybody's ready to have an opinion on the finale, which is the drone show would be in there, or bike parade, which doesn't really require a budgetary thing, same with the band. Everybody's had a chance to see what the drone show looks like, and do we want to?
I just had
Good one.
questions on the drone show, would that be okay?
Yes.
Thank you for providing several links. Those were definitely helpful to see what that looks like. I guess I'm new to this drone show, but in the quote, it looks like there were custom images. And so I guess I was just trying to get a feel for like what would our custom images be, or Keith, maybe you could elaborate on that, or Sue. Were we looking to have some custom images? I guess what comes to mind is like, are we going to show the greenery, or, like what would that really look like?
Sure. So I spoke with 3 different drone companies, and each company offered different options. But if we wanted to have a customizable show, we could, I think, pick 3 or 4 different customized images, and that could be something like our zip code, our logo, our Village of Frankfort logo. We could decide collectively like what we would want to have up there.
Okay. The logo's always debatable these days, right?
Yeah.
Which one? I mean, well, I guess I'm asking questions. I really did like it. I thought it was interesting. I think we could highlight a few things that maybe represent Frankfort across the town,
Right.
or that are unique to us.
Right.
Can I ask on I think Trustee Savari asked the question last time, but like if it rains out, are we on the hook for that, or what's the?
Each company had a different answer, but basically with the first company, they said that we would have up to 6 months to reschedule. The other company said they're flexible. They don't mind rescheduling at any date in the future, which I'd be a little bit leery of.
Yeah.
And then the other company was a year. Within a year, we would have to reschedule.
Okay, so you're not refunding the money, you're just
No.
pushing it back.
Pushing it
to
back.
Some other time. Okay.
Trustee Ledden, Savari?
I guess my only question is, should we just approve a budget for the overall, whatever the spend would be anticipated for the weekend, and, let the planners plan, I guess?
Yeah, that was an item that went over the normal, because that contract specifically would be over. That was one of the reasons that we brought it. And most of the planning was actually very much decentralized. So the museum or the park district was asked how they would like to participate, and they basically planned their part of the participation. And but we're, the drone shows, I think they were from 15,000 to 30,000. The Village of Highland Park had announced a couple months ago that they were going to, instead of fireworks this year for 4th of July, they were going to be going to aerial drone. And for whatever reason, it could be the noise, but also the shows are it's fascinating what they can do with it. I'm sure everyone has seen them now. So if we wanted to move forward with with an approval for that type of budget amount for the drone show, pretty much we could do that.
I know it was in the previous package, but I don't remember. What's the time frame on the drone show?
Most of the companies said it would be a 4-week lead time. 4 weeks.
No, I mean, how long does it go on?
8
10
to
minutes?
12 minutes.
All right, and then how long do our fireworks typically go on?
15, 20 minutes. Yeah, I think
15, 20? Yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking, because I like the idea, thinking if, and hopefully that's not the case, if we get rained out, I think there's plenty of places, like whether it's Fall Fest or 4th of July, where we could possibly use it, right?
Right.
That's why I was trying to figure out how long it went and stuff.
Yeah. 8 to 12 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Yeah.
I really did love the bike parade, especially maybe closing down the streets, earmuffs over there. But really, just encouraging that night thing. So were we still thinking that the drone show would be downtown, or if we did the light up parade, could it end up in Main Park? Like, what would be our audience size, I guess?
I think ideally, it would be nice to hold it at Prairie Park, because the drone company would probably need about the size of a football field to set up. So the parking lot there would be a nice place for them to set up. And then probably have spectators at Brighter Green as well as Prairie Park, depending on how big of a turnout we had. But that's where I would think would be, not to move away from downtown Frankfort and go to Main Park to have it. It would be nice to have it central in downtown Frankfort.
Sue, what's the viewing area as far as?
That I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain.
I would just want to make sure if it's over that way, if you were all the way down here, you could see the images.
Right. That is something I will have to, they may have told me, but it's been a while since I talked to the company, so I will follow up with them just to get an idea of, you know.
Did they show, did each company kind of give you an idea, like a video of what they do?
Yeah, they all had sent samples of their drone shows, ranging in 100 drones to 300 drones, just to show the, you know, different options. And obviously, the more drones you have, the cooler. But most of the companies said that they could do something nice for 100 drones. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What's the budget? So, or just, I mean, I don't mind the idea of Trustee Ledden throughout, or just kind of
I think the budget was 40 grand is what was laid out, if I remember.
for the
right?
entire day.
Yeah,
And
that was the
included-
total, right?
That included the drone show.
Yeah, that was
as
like
part of it.
the highest drone show, yeah.
Yeah.
Sue,
I
is
think
that
it was
right?
50,000, right, for everything?
50,000.
Was
50,000.
it 50?
I'm sorry.
I thought it was 30 for the drone show and 10
Oh,
for everything else.
Well, approximately, including the drone show, I think we are around 50,000.
Okay.
And that was including the village buying food
Right.
also, correct?
Right.
So.
We have some wiggle room in there. It probably wouldn't, if we're not doing food, obviously, we would have more.
Yeah, the downtown businesses had proposed on their own to do the, was it the food walk?
A
And
food
the
crawl.
The food crawl, and that they would bring in participants, and that was their idea that they brought
Right.
on their own. So I think that would be one of the things too, whether we also provided food or whether that's part of the budget or not.
I
Some-
like the idea of the food crawl. When we've provided the hot dogs before, is it like, what's the turnout with that and?
Well, like when we provided them at National Night Out or something like that?
Yeah.
I think for their events, they usually do about 700 hot dogs. And so I think if the village did something like that, I think we should plan on doing 700 to about 1,000 hot dogs and just make it available to the first. But usually those hot dogs go pretty fast.
And we limit it just because then people come up for seconds, and we make it well known that it's the first 700 hot dogs.
Maybe we forego that. I mean, because it's limited to a small percentage of the people, right? Maybe
Right.
we just do the food crawl, but I'm open to suggestions.
Well, I like the food crawl, and then it's
I like
spreading
the
out the
food-
traffic. That
Yeah.
food truck, I mean,
It's a line.
you could never get a hot dog. I've never got a hot dog.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. I want to wait for it.
Yeah.
I don't want any special privileges.
And I think that was one of the items on there that was basically for discussion is, did we want to do that, or we go with the food crawl, which was going on, and there's other restaurants that would be supported and purchases be made directly from them. We could take out the village buying 1,000 hot dogs and move forward on what our grand finale will be and also what that food component would be.
I would recommend that we support our local restaurateurs and
Yep.
have them available and prepared to feed our attendees.
And being June, I love the food crawl. I know we were talking about hot dogs and ice cream, but maybe we could work with our ice cream candy shop, for something similar, like
Right.
a ice cream crawl, or, like
Right.
something that could be also tied into the dessert, because who doesn't love dessert?
Right.
And I do like the drone show. I honestly hadn't really seen it before. I just would want to talk about some of the images, and maybe we could get some resident involvement, a poll on Facebook, or what would they want to really, highlight or see in the sky. That could be kind of neat.
Right.
Love the bike parade. I'm still a little bit torn with the bag tournament, to be honest. I'm just
Okay.
wondering if that's a good chunk of 3 hours of that prime time kind of day? Or if there is a bag tournament, is there maybe some competing activities that may be more tailored towards families or kids? Just we could spread it out, I think, within that downtown area.
Right. And I think the plan is to have lawn games set up, so chess, checkers, Jenga, and those will be going on throughout the day. And those could be brought out onto the street, and families could come up and compete while the bag tournament is going on, or we could find an alternative to a bag tournament if you'd
And
rather.
the games are being provided by the Frankfort Park District,
Yes,
correct? Yeah,
that's
so
correct.
that's their,
That's
their
their
partic-
participation.
Mhm.
They're doing the bag tournament?
No, they're doing the lawn games.
Okay.
I like the bag tournament, gives me an opportunity to beat trustee Borelli.
I might have been
In your
working up for
dreams.
this, Chief.
How many boards would we have?
5 sets total. Oh, well, the guy who's running the bag tournament, he would come out and he would bring as many as 9 or 12 sets, depending on how many people we have pre-registered.
Yep.
So what we're trying to do is push HOAs to sign up to register, and then we'll have like a backyard tournament for amateurs that, fathers, daughters that just want to come and sign up that day. But he will bring as many,
Okay, and then
So-
the 5 are those prizes?
right,
Yeah,
5 of, that we would
that would-
raffle off,
that-
or
that's
that they
great.
would be given out to.
And then are they gonna have like the Frankfurt logo with 60423 on it?
Yes, they would.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So swag for some of the prizes, and then maybe we talked about doing something like Frankfurt famous, like people who have lived in Frankfurt who have gone on to do, things, or the newest
Right.
resident closest to the 60423 day, or longest resident, just some fun 60423 swag. I think it could be
Yeah, definitely.
kind of some fun gifts.
I thought there was some good ideas along those lines, trustee Petro, from the email today from Parker James.
Parker
right? Like,
James,
I mean,
yeah.
like some of those ideas, like that countdown, anyway,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm all for approving the budget of $50,000, letting you continue to work with, I just asked that, keep working with them to,
Sure.
because I think those are some really good ideas that really didn't cost much or require much planning, you know what I
Right.
mean? And then they have some meaning to it too, it's more about,
Right.
Frankfurt, it's got this.
People, bring in
Yeah,
some
bring the
people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And that's what we were encouraging them, was that each of these groups would come up with those ideas and participate. That's
Okay.
how part of them.
Yep.
The merchants do things that would be promoting sales and the process of it, the games from the other ones. So what I'm hearing from the board is that we're willing to approve this budget amount.
I had one more comment.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was noted on there, but the characters, and then I didn't see it on the final one. It looked like there was characters or balloon or,
Oh, a balloon artist and a character artist?
yeah.
Yeah, we're still in the process. Chief Chalepis suggested a character artist, and he's unfortunately unavailable, so we're still looking.
I do have one, and it was a big hit at a party
Oh,
several years
okay.
ago, and I think it could be kind of fun, because then
Yeah.
people have something to take home, too. It's like
Exactly.
a memory, with a date.
Yeah.
Could be kind of neat. So I just wanted to see if that had fallen off or not.
No, that'd be great if you could share that contact.
So just real quick, refresh my memory, what streets, if any, are gonna be closed during the event?
We're talking about closing, and Chief, maybe if I'm wrong, just jump in. Kansas Street from Oak to White, and then Ash. So,
Back to Nebraska from
yes,
Kansas, okay,
correct.
thank you. And I'm actually in favor of approving a budget amount of up to 50,000, I think we just decided, is fine with me.
Okay. We have a consensus of the board for this. I don't think we need an actual vote for this, Rob, do we? No, so, trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Yes. Trustee Zaria?
Yes.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
I'd just like to have some regular updates with that, and especially the planning or parking place, just so that we have a plan for what that peripheral parking is gonna look like,
Okay,
too.
sure.
Is that,
Yes, that's a yes.
there we go. Trustee Burley?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Sue? Thank
I'll
you.
keep you posted. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else under other business tonight? Okay. Hearing none, we have what's called public comment. After public comment, we will be going into executive session also, which we'll talk about that in a second. Does anyone in the audience want to come up and make a comment before the village board? Okay, Dawn, sorry.
Hi, Dawn Shields. I just want to thank Margaret for her service. I've been a 30-plus years resident of Frankfort, and I've been to many, many, many different types of village meetings, and I want to thank you for your service, and you've demonstrated the utmost professional conduct at all of the meetings. You always did your research. You always looked at everything from every angle. You asked really important questions, and you've demonstrated the highest level of honesty, integrity, and ethics. So thank you very, very much for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be sorry to see you go. I hope your kids decide they're going to become really independent soon, and you decide you want to come back, because we really need people like you here. Thank you again.
Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment before the village board tonight? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to get a motion in a second here in just a moment to go into executive session to discuss wannabe personnel, which is under 5 ILCS 120/2C1. Also potentially collective bargaining, which is C2, and litigation, which is C11. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
We have a motion by trustee Savaria. We have a second by trustee Ledden, and we will go to our clerk for the vote, please.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
All right, thank you. When we come out of executive session, we will not be taking any action further. There's nothing else on the agenda other than adjournment. So, and we'll be going to this other room for things. Thank you, everyone.